Chris Nakamoto and the investigative unit has worked tirelessly for years as they expose the cover-up of Ronald Greene's death. In fact, it is now the focus of federal and state investigations. Tonight, indictments of these 5 officers is the first step at bringing closure for Greene's family. Chris Nakamoto joining us live here in studio. Chris, the grand jury deliberating in Monroe. Of course, Ronald Greene's mom, Mona Hardin, here in Baton Rouge, surrounded by family and lots of other supporters. Would you describe the moments when they got that call of the grand jury's decision?
Sylvia, we have been with the family all morning, and I can just tell you they were elated when they got the news. They erupted in cheers. It was an extraordinary situation. This is a historic situation for the state of Louisiana when you talk about that fact that 5 law enforcement officers were indicted today. If we can pull their pictures up, I can go through the charges again. Let's take that full screen again, and I'll go over each one. So we have Dakota DeMoss right there. He's charged with 1 count of obstruction. John Clary, he was the lieutenant on scene the night Ronald Greene died. He was the highest ranking trooper there. He's charged with 1 count of malfeasance, 1 count of obstruction of justice. We exposed he hid his body camera video. Corey York is charged with negligent homicide and 10 counts of malfeasance. York is seen on body camera video yanking Ronald Greene and dragging him. John Peters there on the right, he was the Troop F commander. And even after it was exposed that Ronald Greene was alive and apologizing at the time of his death, or at the time he was exiting that vehicle from that body camera video, John Peters was sending emails within state police basically saying, oh, we can prove that he still died from the crash. Chris Harpin, the guy we don't have a picture of, he is a deputy up there who just happened to be on scene. He's charged with 1 count of malfeasance in office. But again, the mood in that room, it was so tense during the day because everybody was concerned. Nobody was possibly going to get indicted, but when those indictments came, you could just see Ronald Greene's mother was just stunned.
Yeah, in fact, at 6 o'clock, she told you that she has been frozen in time, all of this time in the 3 years that this happened. She said she wanted accountability and no mercy from the top down. But was she still surprised, do you think, by the indictments? Were you?
I think we are all surprised because this just has not happened in the state of Louisiana. You don't typically see law enforcement officers acting on the clock in their jobs and then ultimately getting charged for the jobs that they did. But this cover-up was really extraordinary. It rose to the highest levels of state police. And when you think, you know, why is Baton Rouge covering this? Well, this happened in North Louisiana, 3.5 hours away from us, but all the cover-ups and everything was orchestrated out of Baton Rouge, and the tentacles were basically just stretching to North Louisiana. A historic night tonight.
At a press conference tonight, one state lawmaker said what happened in the Greene case is not an isolated incident. She said that it is just one example of a systemic problem. And as we said earlier, we know that there are now both state and federal investigations. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So after our relentless reporting on Louisiana State Police, we basically dismantled it from the top down. All of the people that were in power at the time this happened are now gone. They're out of jobs. They've either retired or resigned. We also have a federal investigation where the feds are looking into whether or not state police engages in a pattern and practice of targeting minorities on the side of the road. They are going to be getting to the bottom of this. We did get some sound from Mona Hardin moments after this decision was reached. Take a listen to what she had to say to us.
If you could say something to all the people that aided and abetted in this cover-up and the death of your son, what would that be?
You shouldn't have done it, because we ain't going nowhere. Shame on you. Shame on you that you were willing to do what you did to Ronnie. And the fact that you were caught. I really hate to think, what did you do that you didn't get caught for? What did you get away with? And all I know is for what you did to Ronnie, I just want you to feel the pain. For whatever comes after this, I want my son to haunt you. I want what you did to us, I want it to bother you. I want you to just know the pain that you shouldn't have caused. It hurts like hell.
So what the public doesn't know is Mona Hardin actually lives in Florida, in Orlando, and every single time there's a Capitol hearing, every single time there's a court hearing, anytime there's something at the State Police Commission, she drives in from Orlando, 10 hours away each way to be here in the pursuit of justice. So again, they are just extremely elated that a grand jury handed up an indictment. Of course, you're innocent until you're convicted.
So what
And
happens next?
They are charged. They're criminally charged, but again, they have their say-so. They'll have their right to a defense. They'll have an arraignment. And of course, the whole court proceedings will go on, and then ultimately a trial will happen to determine whether or not they actually conducted obstruction of justice, whether or not they aided and abetted in this cover-up, and all the malfeasance charges that they're all facing as well.
Do you think this will drag out as long as this whole process getting to this point is taken?
It really is an incredible situation when you look at the fact that he died on May 10th of 2019, and we are now December 15th of 2022, and the mother is finally getting some word that, you know, there's some accountability in this case. And they firmly believe, had the media not exposed what happened here, this would have just been whitewashed and it would have gone all away.
Well, Chris, you have been relentless in your reporting, and that is what we do, right? Your investigations, that's what we do, bringing it to the forefront, exposing, and at least as his mother wanted, Ronald Greene's mother wanted, at least to hold people accountable. As you said, now it goes through the legal process of all that, innocent until proven guilty, but at least now it goes through that process and we see what happens from there.
That's right. We have a tremendous responsibility. We can't just take one side of the story. We always ask further questions. And obviously in this case, there was body camera video that refuted a lot of what state police was saying. So had that body camera video not been there, this might be a different story. And the fact that there were indictments today, and the fact that that body camera video was out there and existed, the mother's questioning what else has happened that possibly was covered up. So there's a lot of concern out there, and I think the fallout from this is going to be great. And we'll just have to see what happens in the coming days, weeks, and years.
And we know that you won't let up. This is not the end of this story, is it?
No.
All right, Chris Nakamoto, thank you.
Yes.